You know, Mouse Rebel did a video about how Dragon Ball Z pertained to communist rhetoric. So I figured I'd do the same thing about Pokemon. Because I'm sure everyone at some point or another has played Pokemon. When I was younger, Pokemon was a big deal. And I still like Pokemon. So I figured I'd illustrate how Pokemon is like a Marxist-Leninist principle of iron-fisted socialism moving toward communism, pure and simple. If you notice in Pokemon, there is no central authority. There are figureheads, but there is no real government in the Pokemon world. There's police officers, there's gym leaders. Every town has a gym leader. You could say the gym leader's like governor, but that's not really what they do. What they do is they kind of just represent. They're like the ambassador of that town. And gym leader is a prestige position where trainers earn badges by defeating them in battle. This sounds like a regulatory process of sportsmanship. Obviously, Pokemon is the sport of the entire world. It is the ultimate way to boost morale of the citizens. It is both a pastime and a way to keep the ecosystem in check, because they tame these wild elemental creatures while at the same time having fun while doing so. Clearly they have universal health care in the Pokemon world, at least for the Pokemon. The Pokemon have free Pokemon centers. It still costs money to earn potions and different steroids and things to give to your Pokemon, but that also might be because it's pseudoscience. Remember, if you're looking at this from the perspective of the Pokemon game, the same way you would buy diet pills or, psychological pills might be how they look at the XP boosts and the rare candies and things like that. So that explains why it's not covered under the universal healthcare plan of Pokemon. Now, the more I think about it, look at the Elite Four. The Elite Four, again, are not a government body. They are just representations. And I think they have some influence. Certainly, the laws tend to lean toward the way the Elite Four want them to, but the Elite Four have no legitimate power. They don't have entitlement. No one is above anybody else in the Pokemon world. So much so that you never hear of anyone getting paid for a job. There are no jobs in the Pokemon world. People gamble their money, whether it be in the casinos or whether it be in Pokemon battles. People are always shifting money towards one another in a gambling splurge. Now, why is this? I think this is to symbolize the classlessness of the Pokemon world, or at least trying to make it classless, where money can get in the hands of anybody lucky enough or have just a little bit of skill to get it. You don't have to be super smart, you don't have to be super athletic, you just have to be semi-intelligent and be willing to take part, and you could probably earn money. So I think that's a good message to send, and at the same time, I notice there are a lot of jobs in the Pokemon world, but you notice nobody cares about the money. Nobody cares about investing in college or whatever to get these jobs. They just get them. There's a lot of professors and scientists and doctors in the Pokemon world, but I don't see any profit incentive to be so. It's simply that's what they want to do for a living. And many people would want to do that. Many people would love to be in research and development. Many people would love to be engineers. And if they don't, hey, that's fine too. The Pokemon world is a society that proves that you don't need to pressure people with poverty and starvation to get them to work hard. Maybe they want to work hard just to be a better person or to make a better society, or because they just have something deep inside of them metaphysically that they want to let out, and they do so if you give them a positive outlet to. And I still have plenty of time here, but I think I pretty much covered everything I wanted to say about Pokemon. Oh wait, though, there's the bourgeoisie. There are the capitalist enemies. Team Rocket is the closest thing to a capitalist in Pokemon. Team Rocket is ran like a mafia syndicate. You notice it has a clear social hierarchy. There's the boss, Giovanni, and then those below him. There are certain commanders and stuff in between. It has fascist undertones in their uniforms and their style, the way they clone and do all these Nazi Germany type tactics with their pseudoscience. And then in later episodes there was Team Magma and Team Aqua. I see these more as the petty bourgeoisie because they struggle for territory and, influence. And they are as companies that, compete, or gangs that compete for land and to be on that turf or whatever. And it's more closely gang related, but it deviates from the communist message. And that's why Team Magma and Team Aqua weren't quite as popular as Team Rocket. It did not signify the villainy as well as Team Rocket did. So, that is my assessment of how Pokemon is like a communist-leaning message, and how slowly you will wean into communism through socialism, and currency becomes less and less useful, less and less needed to function in your daily life. They still buy things with money, but the money itself is not important. It's merely just, something to symbolize labor, and it's just a trinket. It's just there to, give people the illusion that it matters. But at no point is there actually that much value put into money. Not like in our modern society where money is everything. In Pokemon society, money is just, a way to express yourself. It's just there to, because people have not gotten used to the idea of not having it yet. But, it's not really a necessity. You could go the entire Pokemon game without buying any potions or anything like that, because if you notice, by Gold Edition, they have berries and things, and berries don't require any purchase. You just pick a berry off a tree and you give it to your Pokemon. Or the same thing with Pokemon balls. It used to be you have to purchase them, but by Gold Edition, you would collect these acorns and give it to this guy, and he would craft you Pokemon balls. Now, it's probably not practical to rely on that. You only get like 2 or 3 Pokemon balls at a time, and no one wants to wait that long. But it shows that you don't need the fiat currency in a society to run it. And it just becomes more, especially with the barter trade system. You notice nobody pays for a Pokemon, and if they do, it's under a corrupt system like the casinos, which are owned by Team Rocket. When people trade Pokemon, they barter trade the Pokemon. They trade X for Y Pokemon. They don't, pay for it. And if you notice, most of the shops have around the same price for their goods. So there's a lot of hints to regulatory processes and, Keynesian economics. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. And just in general, it's left-wing. And, I guess that's all I have to say. Maybe I just wanted to do something to exalt Pokemon. But that's my assessment for the day. That's my... I just wanted to get that out there because I've been thinking about that for a very long time and I've never mentioned it, and I just felt like doing it. So, see you later.